Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Renew Show. Thank you for tuning in. We have a very special guest who doesn't look nervous, but she is. So be nice to her when you leave your comments and your questions, all right, guys? Um, but before I introduce our guest, it's actually a special guest, someone I've been following for a very long time, at least in YouTube age. But I'm going to let my co-host introduce herself, and then we'll go on.
Okay. Hi guys, it is me, Sarah, from the Smiling Lose Fat team. Yay!
All right, so I'm Khalif, fat guy, skinny wallet. I always forget.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I'm not important. So we're here with Staci. Staci, first, have I been saying your last name correctly?
Compher. I think you said it right. Compher.
Okay. I think I say like Compher or something like that. Like I'm trying to sound professional. So, okay, Compher. Well, I've been following Staci, like I said, for a long time, and she, she's a very diverse and very creative person. So I'm kind of jealous of that because she's, like artistic, and I don't have that. So even when I see her doing these different things, with her daughter and her granddaughter and stuff, it's so cool. So the thing I love about her videos is that you don't just get her weight loss journey, but you get a part of her life. And I think that's so important because, we all get a chance to get to know her and not just see her as a number on the scale going up or down. We actually see her as a person and can easily care about her and care about her journey that way. So, Staci, first, just thank you for agreeing to come on. I know, it took a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, it took a little while. I was just nervous.
Well, you can see nothing to be nervous about.
Yeah.
So I want to give you a chance to just kind of introduce yourself and tell us just anything that you want to tell us about yourself that we should know about you, and then we'll get on with some of the questions.
Well, I started on the YouTube about in 2008 trying to lose weight. I went on YouTube watching other people's videos, looking for people that have lost more than 100 pounds or more, trying to find like a major weight loss because I weighed about 400 pounds then. And I come across a lot of people that had had the weight loss surgery, and a lot of them were using OptiFast pre-surgery to lose, a few pounds before surgery. And so I started looking into the OptiFast, and that's how I got onto the OptiFast, which I started to use in 2008. And through that program, I lost 190 pounds from September 2008 until April of 2010. It was really a great program. I don't know if you've heard of the OptiFast, where usually it's shakes, protein bars, and soups. But it's very low calorie for like the first few weeks. And then they slowly up your calories, and then they take out the bars and the shakes and put in real food. And they teach you how to grocery shop. They teach you how to go to restaurants and order food, healthy versions. But through that time, I lost 190 pounds. I was really successful. I did weekly weigh-ins on YouTube, which helped me, knowing that I had to weigh in each Monday, I think it was back then. There was something about the accountability that kept me coming back every week. And I was really successful losing the weight. And then obviously, I've gained the weight back. And that's where I find myself right now, trying to get the weight back off. I've actually, the beginning of August, I was back up to 400 pounds this year. And right now I'm 375, so I've lost 25 of that. But now I find myself just struggling with, I don't want to say willpower. Is it willpower? Or just I don't know, just to stay motivated, the motivation, I guess.
Hmm.
And I have lots of things to keep me, to do it for, I guess.
So you were talking earlier, before we got on the air, about just trying to find what it was that helped you lose the 190 pounds. And I know you said it was difficult to find a mental thing, but are there some things that you noticed besides, you were doing the weigh-ins here to be accountable? Was there anything else that you can pick out that you said, wow, I was doing these and this really helped, I should get back to that?
Yeah, well, I know when I first started in September of the 2008, that was less than, my husband passed away about 10 months before that. And for like the first 6 to 9 months after he passed away, I was kind of in a bubble and I didn't care about anything. I would never say like I wanted to hurt myself, but I didn't care if I didn't wake up the next morning. I was just kind of in that mode. And then one day I looked at my girls who were 12 and 18 and I thought, how scary it must be through their eyes to see me this overweight. Like it just hit me like they just lost their father who was overweight, and now they're looking at their mom. They like I thought they were going to look at me like this ticking time bomb, but really it was my girls that kept me motivated back then, and I wanted to just get healthy because I wanted to be here for them. And now, like I feel like I have another daughter, and which should be motivation enough. Like I don't understand why that's not enough. To be like never eat bad food again. Like to eat fruits, vegetables, and live forever, that kind of thing. But for some reason I can't pull it together, and I don't know. And then we go back. I always wonder too about the addiction. Sometimes I feel bad calling it like a food addict. I don't know how you guys feel about like that. Sometimes I feel like it's pulling away from people like an alcoholic or a drug addict. I don't know. It just feels not right. But I do feel like there is a food addiction because I feel like if I've got 3 beautiful daughters, I've got 2 grandkids like that I adore, and they all adore me. We have a tiny family. I need to be here as long as I can, and I just when my husband passed away, that was like a huge. Like I said, he just lost 200 pounds himself. He had the gastric bypass, and he had an enlarged heart that we didn't know about. So it was like unexpected. And we were together since I was 15 and he was 16, so we were like high school sweethearts. We were together like 21 years. And I remember a real thing that stuck with me since then too is that getting his death certificate, even though it said, I think it was cardiomyopathy or an enlarged heart, under the other causes, it listed morbid obesity. And that was, I remember that hit me like just a ton of, first of all, I didn't want him to be labeled that on that death certificate, which is, I don't know if that's weird, but
No.
it was so much more than that. I just didn't like that was on there. Plus, he had just gotten so healthy, but that one's really stuck with me, and I know there's no guarantees that if I lost the weight, you're just going to live till 100 and be healthy and great, but I just want to be as healthy. I want to be as healthy as I can right now. I mean, I'm a single mom. I have to work full time. And I'm 43. I have a 3-year-old. I don't need to carry around this much weight trying to just do all that. She's going to start school soon. I want to be able to go to her kindergarten stuff and, not worry about fitting in the chairs at school. Or I feel like with me, the weight is on my mind. Whether I'm worrying about the seat or what restaurant are we going to, they have booze. My seatbelt doesn't fit in my car. It's just a constant thing, and I don't want to. When I got down to 210, I didn't even think about those things. And for most people, 210 would still be big, but I was comfortable, like in my skin at 210. And I just want that again. And I come back to YouTube because YouTube was so helpful for me the first time, and I'm just hoping that I can with all the support that I've gotten, and I've got people that have followed me from the beginning, and they don't say mean things or horrible things. They're still like, you can do it, and you did it before, and everybody's so supportive on YouTube. They have been. So I'm just looking for that, whatever that is, that gives me
Right.
that mindset.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who can relate to what you're saying, you know, that have maybe had success in the past and have gained back weight and can't seem to find that groove and that mojo that they had before. I think maybe a lot of that is because we're upset with ourselves for allowing ourselves to get right back where we were, and we know the journey and the battle that's ahead of us, and we know how hard it's going to be.
Exactly.
So mentally, we hold ourselves back. You know,
Yeah.
we might have all these motivators like our families and want to have, you know, be healthy, but it still comes back to that mental block. I mean, because weight loss is like 80% mental, 20% physical, maybe even more. It's just we have to overcome that mental block. And we might not ever find that thing.
Yeah.
We just have to, you know, make that decision that I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to move forward, you know, and just keep going, because, you know, we did it once, we'll do it again, and we'll succeed. But I think there's a lot of people out there who, you know, are with you on that. You know, I myself am partly there too, so I totally relate to what you're saying.
Yeah, I can feel you with that, with the part of having to lose it again. Like you feel like, I don't want to say it's embarrassing. Oh, sometimes it's embarrassing. I feel like when people do see me, that's all they see is that she gained the weight back.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have to lose it all again, and like you said, it's hard work no matter how you do it or whatever your journey was to get there. And maybe that just, sometimes it frustrates me. Maybe I always want it to move quicker.
Yeah, faster than it does.
I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's never fast enough, but I know that that's not always a good thing either. But
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I mean, I'm in the same boat, just not, the numbers are not as large, but, you know, I've gained pretty much 50 pounds in the last 18 months. You know, on most of what I lost, you know, I probably lost like 20, 30 pounds total in in a 2.5, almost 3 years, because of the regain. You know, when you look at the net, how much I'm lower now. So, you know, I know what it's, you know, what it's like. I guess people would probably look at where you were and say that you got down to what many people would consider a goal weight. You know, a lot of people set around 200, you know, especially someone who's, you know, I mean, you lost almost half your weight.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, first, you know that you know that you have the ability to do it.
yeah,
And it's like you said, it's this mental thing that comes. And now that when you gain the weight back, you know, I see what Sarah is saying with feeling like you, almost like you let yourself down. And why did I put myself back in this place when I know what a struggle it is? I mean, do you feel that some days you allow the fact that you had the loss and the regain to kind of get into your mind, where it's not just battling the temptation, but it's also battling those thoughts?
I think it does. Like, yeah, because sometimes I feel like, sometimes with I've lost the weight and I find that encouraging, and then sometimes the fact that I lost that much weight, I think, discourages me, because I feel like it's so far, like the 190 pounds, and it's like so far off. It seems unreachable, even though I've done it. And I do feel like it's a more of a mental thing with me, because even when I found out I was pregnant, I found out I was pregnant with Aiden like a month or a week after I got to 210. And I used to go to weekly weigh-in meetings at my doctor's office, and I remember pulling the doctor from the group and just grabbing her and being like, I'm going to gain the weight back. Like, I had this instant fear when I found out I was pregnant. And I think that was like a mental thing too. Like, I knew I felt like I used it as an excuse to, because I remember I stopped going to meetings, I stopped weighing myself. Like, I put on these like blinders of, I think I wanted an excuse to eat bad again, even though then it didn't even seem like a diet by then. Like, I just ate what I was supposed to. I was used to my calorie intake. I went to the gym, but I felt like once I got pregnant, mentally, I think I knew I was going to too. Like, I let myself. It almost felt like it was a purposeful thing that I know I didn't want to happen, but I feel like I knew it was going to happen. And
Right.
from April of 2010 till she was born December 1st, I went from 210 to when I weighed in at the hospital to have her to 339. So
Wow.
within like 8 or 9 months, I gained over 100 pounds. I mean,
Wow.
so it was like crazy on. And of course, in my head, the whole time I'm pregnant, as soon as I have her, I'm going to eat right again, and I'm going to get back on track, and I'm going to lose all the weight. So I'm just doing this because I'm pregnant. As soon as I have her, you know, I'm going to go back to, and then by her first birthday, I was 359. Now she'll be 4 in December, and I'm 375. My goal is to get at least down to 359 by then. So I'll be what I was at her first birthday. But yeah, I feel like I play mind tricks with myself sometimes just to get away with stuff that I know I shouldn't.
Right.
Which makes no sense. Who am I fooling, really? But I think it does come back to the addiction too. I don't know. But it is our choice, and I know it's my choice. And when I told the doctor my fear that I was going to gain it back, you know, she's like, no, you're not going to get it back. You have the tools that you've learned what you need to do. You know what you have to do, and I do. But for some reason, I can have like my house full of all the healthy stuff that I'm supposed to eat, and got it planned out to where I'm eating every 3 hours and da 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 da. But here comes the spicy chicken wings or something, and I lose my mind, and I eat that, and then I say, oh yeah, like I was supposed to eat this fridge full of. I feel like I really do just like black it out so that I can make this bad choice, and then we'll talk about it after, and then I weigh 400 pounds. So, but
I think you just described what, you know, in addiction. You describe what an addict deals with, and you talk to anybody. You know, I've known a lot of people, more than I should, people who, you know, have drug addiction or alcohol, and, you know, they say the same things. And when they don't have that desire pressing on them, they can think soberly and think wisely, and they can make the right choices, and they can even check in rehab, and they can do all these things. But as soon as the urge comes, all of that can go out the window, and it only needs to go out the window for 10 minutes. You know, that's long enough to make the bad choice, and then you just sit and do it. Right? Like, it's not like you have to say, for the next 3 days, I'm going to do this. It's just one moment of weakness, and then it's like, what just happened?
Yeah. Right. And then we say we won't do it again, and
yeah.
From now on, we're going to stick to what we're supposed to. And
it's so hard with food because it's constantly there. It's not something you can escape from. You know, it's always there. So
it is. It's just like I heard. I think Brooke said on one of her videos about sometimes using food so you don't have to think about certain things or feel certain things. And I think that's a huge one for me too, because I sometimes live in I get like, this wasn't how my life was supposed to be, and I know lots of people can say that. So I live in fear. Like, I wasn't supposed to be this single mom and taking care of things by myself. And like, for example, like this week, you know, when my husband was here, he was the guy. He did the boy stuff. I did the girl stuff. So if anything, like if the oil needs change, he'd do that. And now that it's just me, like my furnace is messing up this week. So the first thing I want to do that'll make me feel good is if I could stop at the grocery store and pick up something good to eat, snuggle up on my couch, eat the junk food, I'm going to feel good and not worry about these stresses in my life for a minute. Or even like thinking too, I can't think too long about like the loss of my husband, or like if I look at my girls and I think about they don't have their dad, and I can't go there. And I think sometimes like Brooke was saying, I'll feed to not feel or think about that right now. And that's a huge one for me, especially this October. It's 7 years this month that he passed away, and all of October is just like a really. My friends and family know that I'm a little bit emotional, and I kind of relive that last month. But food makes me feel good, or makes me not feel those things for a small time period. And before, I remember when I was losing the weight, I still had that, and I would call the doctor's office that I was going to, and they would tell you to. I think she used to call it like white knuckle it, where you would literally like just have to feel it and just get through it. And eventually that did work, and I need to get to that again, because food is just like a huge feel good thing for us. We have cookouts all the time, and every time my family gets together, it's like a food based thing too. Like if we're gonna all get together, it's gonna be about food. Yeah. Whether it's birthday or holiday, whatever. Food is always like a huge base to it, but
yeah.
And I guess I wish it wasn't so important to me. Like I wish it wasn't that big a deal. I want to be one of the people that like forgets to eat. It's just not, it's not that big a deal. And my youngest is like, she would rather grab like a carrot or an apple instead of cookies. And I don't know where we joked because I was healthy when I was pregnant with her, that maybe some of that rubbed off on her, but where my oldest two, they struggle with weight also. So sometimes that doesn't help, because even though like I can make the whole house, okay, we're going to get healthy, but still, if you're both fighting this addiction, it's easier for the person to say, well, let's order pizza tonight. We're not strong together. It's like we need one of us to be like, and I'm the mom, and I know I'm supposed to be the one that says no. Yeah. Something, but.
When we had you talked about this some already, or a lot, but we had two people ask about the regain, and just was there anything going on in your mind? Bruce asked about it, and so did Pete. Was there, just reflecting back, was there anything else that happened? When you said you got pregnant, you kind of thought it was just, hey, I can just, kind of put aside what I'm doing. Was there anything else that you think triggered it, or another thought that kept happening in your mind during that time?
I don't know. I know when, first of all, like, the getting pregnant was not expected, and it wasn't a good situation. So that in itself was stressful. But I don't know what happened. I really thought, even though I was scared I was going to lose the weight, I really thought I was going to keep it under control. But once I accepted the fact, okay, I'm pregnant, and then I became so happy. Like, I never thought I'd have another baby, and I became so caught up in, like, the baby world, so I'm, like, getting the baby stuff together. I didn't pay attention to, I feel like maybe, all right, I think my doctor had told me before that I trade off, like, addictions, and I don't know if that, like, I went into baby mode, and I was full force. Like, I was painting this, and I had every little outfit, and I was just, like, I go 100% one way, and then I forgot about the other way.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was purposeful or. Plus, the person that I was seeing was an eater, and I don't blame this person, but he loved to cook, and he loved to eat, and of course he was skin and bones, and I just jumped right on that wagon and made bad choices all through the pregnancy. And my doctor never said a word to me either. I kept thinking I was going to get in trouble, like each weigh in, and not a word, but...
There's so many people, I'm just looking at the comments, who just are supporting you and who love you. Tina, Prairie Princess 1 said, hi, Staci. I followed you for a while, and you're an awesome person. I, too, was nearly 400 pounds, and please know that I'm here for you. You can do this.
Yeah, I've always looked at Tina and thought, because when I found out that she was a similar start weight, that's so inspiring to see somebody that did it, and she's successful, and she's keeping it off, and she is a huge inspiration to me. Especially when people are the similar weight. There's something about, like, look at her. You would never even realize she weighed 400 pounds.
Relate to her.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, Corey Williams, who I think that you've helped a lot, you know, get back on track. He's watching.
Corey.
And he actually said that, you know, this is bringing me to tears right now, just listening to you, you know, talk about this. So, you know, you definitely inspire a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot more comments that could be read here. And Rob Reno has a question, not one of his famous questions. He says, Staci, several months back, your close friend was going to have weight loss surgery. Did you have mixed emotions about her having it and leaving you behind, so to say, when it comes to weight? How is she doing, and did the surgery come between your friendship at all?
She had the surgery, and I was worried about, like, changes. First of all, my best friend's 10 years younger, so I was worried about, she had the surgery, she's lost over 100 pounds, and she just had the tummy tuck. So she's feeling amazing, and she's got this, like, new lease on life. And at first I thought that I was jealous of her weight loss. And me and her talk about, she's my best friend, we'd share everything. But, and then I realized I wasn't, like, jealous of her, but I missed that. I remember that feeling that she's feeling. Like, she's discovered clothes, and, you know, she's buying the cute stuff, and I remember I want that again. I remember discovering bracelets and trying on jeans. I had squeezed into a size 12 right before I got pregnant. Squeezed. I wouldn't wear a 12, but I squeezed into a 12. And I just watch her going through all this, and it makes me want it. And I do miss it. And I know that me and her, we go through some things right now just because I think because the weight loss and the age difference that, you know, she's ready to go out and have a good time, and I'm like a grandma at home with my grandkids. And I don't know if that's the weight or the, I don't know, or just the change in my life. But I am proud of her for doing that too. And her husband actually just had the surgery too, so they're all shrinking over there. She's lost over 100. She looks amazing, and she feels great. But I think I think her losing weight made me miss how that feels. I remember that. I miss that. I felt really good, and I felt cute, and the energy, and there's just so much to that, and now I don't know why I just don't eat exactly what I'm supposed to and exercise, and I can be that in like a year and a half, 2 years. I could do that within 2 years. But we are.
Well, I mean, you were doing in August when you came back on YouTube, and you entered the diet bet. You also entered that challenge that Brooke had, the 5-day challenge, and you did well in that. You won the diet bet, and so it seems like that. And let's say you're 25 pounds down, in 2 months. So it does sound like you're doing great, and I know that a lot of that was in August. but it still seems like that you're ready to make that shift.
Mhm.
Do you agree?
I really feel like I am, and I feel. I guess I get nervous. I don't trust myself, if that doesn't sound too crazy. I just get really nervous that I guess because I'm gonna fail again. Like, I'm tired of coming back on here, and I know some people get embarrassed for like making the "I'm back" video, or how many times am I gonna make the "I'm gonna do it again" video or "I'm back" video? But I just keep trying. But I want this to be it finally. Like, I want,
Mhm.
and I know it's up to me. That I just have to do it,
Yep.
and it's gonna be hard sometimes, and it's gonna piss me off, and but it just felt so good. And I really, when you get older, but I'm 43, but um, it does come more. Like, before, it was, oh yeah, I want to be cute in my jeans and I want to look good, but my mother passed away like a year and a half ago, and she was only 61. And now that I'm 43, 61 seems even younger than before. And say if I only have 20 more years, I want those to be a good 20 years. Like, I'm willing to accept another 20 years, but I don't want to be like my legs hurting and my back and not being able to be mobile. I worry about, when does that happen? My mom had bad knees, this and that, and here I am carrying weight that she never carried. So I'm worried about, I feel like I need to do this. Like, I'm on a time crunch here,
Mhm.
just because I am getting older. But I think you guys, knowing you guys are watching, has been helping. And I love weigh-in videos. I know not everybody does them, but I find those so inspiring when other people have the weigh-in videos. And I think that, for me, is something I need to stick to, whether it's good or bad, because knowing that I have to weigh in on whatever it is sticks in my mind. And I think that's why the diet bet really was helped. Just knowing that diet bet was just like haunting me.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, I'll reach for another. That diet bet weigh-in's coming
Yep.
up. That just, yeah, that diet bet worked. I didn't know how that would go, but that's why I say we need to do that one again. And I know you talked about maybe doing another one before Christmas.
Yeah.
Competition is good for you.
It is. Oh yeah, I believe that. Something about that.
Mhm.
There was like no way I was giving them my $25.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
what Sherry Ann did as well. We both felt that way.
I want my money back.
Exactly. And then it ended up getting 50, which was awesome.
I know it.
I was like surprised. I really didn't expect it to be that much. But
What was I going to say? Okay, there's a couple more. Was comments and questions. Gina versus Gina just commented and said the self-sabotage is so common, and many of us can relate to that. My wife, Sherry Ann, she said, I know sometimes the dieting and weighing can feel so overwhelming. I can imagine a pregnancy felt like a reason not to care anymore and not to be so regimented.
Mhm.
yeah, it almost felt like it was my one time where I was allowed to have weight gain. Like, I was
Yeah. People
allowed
wouldn't.
to, because I was pregnant. Even though, as somebody that was as heavy as me, you're only supposed to gain a little bit anyway. But I was allowed to gain weight right now. Yeah, it was wrong. And now I wish I wouldn't have done that. Like, I wish I would have gained the 25 pounds or whatever it is. But
Well, Tina just threw in a little fact about herself. She says, I started my weight loss journey when I was 43. You are never too old.
I like that.
True.
I was young, like myself.
Yep.
That's right.
Honestly, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That gives me hope there.
Yeah, and
I feel like
go ahead.
because I was just thinking, I don't want to say I feel young, but I don't, and I know everybody does it when you get older. You're like, 43 is not as old as you used to think it was going to be. I just feel like I still, as heavy as I am, I feel like good, and I feel that's why I feel like I need to do it now, because I don't know, I just need to do it now. Yep. 43. I can say I started at 43 too.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that's best, to cut off everything that happened in the past and start from even cut off the last 2 months. And today, every day is a new day. You can't let what you've done in the past hold you back or make you get cocky if you've done well the last few months. Either way, today is a new day.
Yeah.
I believe that too. I think that I need to do, because I feel like I can't live up to what I did before, and it needs to be a different journey now. I'm a different person. I'm older. My life's different.
Yeah. And it will be completely different for you, this time round. Your body has changed. It's not the same as it was. And even when you get back down to your goal weight, it's going to be different. It's going to be totally different. So this time round, it's going to be exact opposite. It's going to be so much different. And, like you were saying, you get frustrated because it's not going as fast as you want. And I find that the second time around, it never goes as fast as the first time did. You're like, oh, and you think when, the first time I was losing 2, 3, 4 pounds a week. Now I lost half an ounce, so it's like.
Exactly.
It's so frustrated, but just focus on the now, and this is what's happening right now. And you'll do great.
I think so too. Because I used to have a list of how much I had lost per week the last time too, and this time I couldn't even come close to what I did before.
Yeah.
It's like,
don't compare.
Let it go. Yeah, let it go.
Let it go.
Oh no! Don't
make me start singing Frozen songs. I will.
Don't do Frozen. Is Aiden still awake? Because if so, she'll run over here if she hears Frozen.
Come on, her and I will be good friends.
Oh, I'm planning a Frozen birthday party, so we are frozen everything over here.
Yeah.
Tink McGaffey, he said, the bad part is the self-bashing that I do after I've made bad choices. It starts a downward spiral because that triggers an "oh, poor me" attitude that makes me skip the gym, and then if anything happens at work or home that is even slightly stressful, the magnitude explodes. So, I mean, I think, that's something, again, we can all relate to.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So it seems like so many people are, wow, you and Tina, you guys really have to meet up. She says, I do believe that we have similar ways of coping with our emotions. October is a big trigger month for me as well. My mom suddenly passed on the 20th. Food is our comfort, is our friend. It's time for a new relationship with food. I had to retrain my brain about food.
Exactly. I definitely feel that way with, Ed passed away the 26th. So yeah, I get that with, and it was unexpected. And it was with you. But I just don't know how to, like, one of the things I don't like to hear, if you tell people, like, you have a bad relationship with food or it's stressful so you like to eat, sometimes, like, the advice you get is frustrating. Like, they'll say, go take a walk. And I understand they're trying to get you to get out and walk, but taking a walk for me doesn't compare to having my Chinese or whatever. Like, it's not the same. And I know you need to switch it off. I wish there was. I don't think there's much that compares to the addiction to the food. I don't know. Have you guys found like something that's replaced that? I mean, I know people do say like exercising but I've exercised, but I've never found anything that really compared to that high or that fix that I get from the food. And I know taking a walk isn't going to probably do it for me, but...
No, I'd take a walk to the Chinese place. So.
Yeah,
You know, like that would be my one. You know, and I'm with you too. I am an emotional eater all the way. I get stressed, I eat, and you know, I don't stop, and it's hard for me, and it's something I struggle with like a lot. And I've tried things, and I'm praying, and I'm like, God, just please help me to not do this. And I think maybe sometimes it helps if I try and, okay, I know I want food, and I know that I'm going to eat something. So I try and, make a good choice of what I'm going to eat. Mm-hmm. So instead of like going after, binging on all this stuff, this bad stuff, maybe I'll have, like one like thing of chocolate and try and just tell myself, this is enough. I had this. It's helped me. I'm good. So, but it's hard to do.
Through it.
Yes. Yeah. You have to convince yourself that this is enough for me. It's hard to do, and especially with a food addiction and turning to food for comfort, it's a battle. And I don't know if it's something that ever gets won. I don't know if you ever stop having to deal with that.
Yeah.
It can be overcome in one battle by battle. It's just we have to believe that we can overcome that, not let food take control over us. We control the food.
Right.
And I think a lot of times the roles get reversed. So.
I know. And it's like we don't know what happened.
Exactly.
I remember I looked back. Sometimes I feel like my weight loss journey from before, like it was just piece of cake. Like I remember it different, and then I'll go back and I'll like watch. Like I watched a video where I think I was like 215. So even at 215, I remember I was on the video talking about my brother was living with me with his kids, and there was Little Debbie's on the fridge. And I still, at 215, even though I was eating right, was catching myself, like if the house was empty, grabbing those Little Debbie's off the fridge.
Yeah. So I think it's... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just don't... I guess that's what I'm frustrated with myself, is those kind of things, or stopping at the store and getting groceries, but grabbing the Twix candy bar on the checkout with the groceries and eating that in the car on the way home. That feels like and like nobody knows. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think even when you hit, you get down to your goal weight, like you had mentioned, it's still something that you have to deal with. It doesn't just magically disappear because you lost weight.
Right.
Losing weight isn't the answer to all the problems that go with it. You have to confront those mental problems, and just because of the amount of fat that's on your body, that doesn't deal with the mental problems. We have to work through that, every day.
That's what I think. I don't think it's ever cured, or you're just fixed. Like, I don't know if you're ever... I think it is something that I've had to accept, that I'll have to probably always kind of fight or keep it in track. I think I'll always kind of struggle with it a little. I don't think it'll ever be just cured. I guess accepting that and knowing that there's no miracle that's going to happen either. I have to do the hard work, and dang it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Have that perspective. I think most people who deal with food addiction, have the perspective that it's something we'll have to deal with constantly, even though we'll have more and more victories over them. We'll still have to deal with at least temptation, and even if we're 100% victorious, we'll still have the battle. And I know that Rob Reno made a video a while back, and I'm saying something similar, and I think someone or maybe multiple people confronted him and said that. And then I think actually on Renew, someone confronted him and said, talked about the food addiction and things. So anyway, just saying that I think most people outside of that instance, feel that way. There's going to be a constant battle. So, it's I guess it's the idea of always keeping something so close to us that whenever we want to have the food, that there's something closer to us than that we can look at whether it be motivation or a goal or something we don't want to happen. Just keep it close enough to us. With me, I'll have goals that are 4, 5, 6 months or end of the year, goals, and those things, what I eat today, I feel like doesn't impact what I weigh December 31st, because I can work it off over the next few days. I have a couple months to recover. But if I'm thinking about, and I started, putting my scale, taking a picture of the scale every morning, putting it on Instagram and Facebook, then it's like, okay, I can't go crazy because this scale is going to go up in a day more than it should, and people are going to wonder what you're doing. And I'm putting all the food that I'm eating up and everything, so, just trying to be held accountable, because I know every day it's a battle, and I need something real close to me.
And we are watching that scale, too. I look forward to seeing that scale. It is way more entertaining than I thought it would be. I don't know why. Like,
I felt like I wanted to stop, because I was like, okay, people are going to get bored with seeing a collage of all my food, the thing from MyFitnessPal, and and my scale every single day. Like, people are getting tired of seeing that. So
no, we like watching it.
So
keeping it in check.
So just talking about that, Staci, what are some of the things that you're doing now, since it's such a struggle, but you have you have your kids and your grandkids? Like, what little things are you putting in place to kind of stop you from going back to your old habits?
Well, I know for me, it comes down to, I work 9 hours a day and I work 6 days a week. So for me, coming home after work, the last thing I want to do is like cook, or really, I don't want to do anything, to be honest. As soon as I get home from work, I just want to just plop on the couch, to be honest. But so for me, I've been trying to get into the meal prep. And actually, I have my big grocery list for tomorrow, because I looked up all the, because I know they had the individual meal prep for people for work, but I found healthy crock pot meal preps.
Yep.
And I figured that way, I can have that cooking all day, and then it's ready to go. I need to have stuff. I need to know this is my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner. And I think that's why the OptiFast worked for me so well. And even Brooks, the 5-day challenge, she had a menu of, we ate this, 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 and this. And it was almost at this time, and this is what we ate. And for some reason, when I don't have to make the decision, I do better. So right now I'm trying to work on meal prep. And I hear so many people talk about meal prep on like YouTube, and I've never really done the full weeks. Like, I see people that like spend Sunday afternoon like prepping for the whole week.
Khalifa Sherry Ann.
Yeah. And I want to do that, because I think that helps me to have a set, like, come home from work and this is what your meal is. What are we gonna have? And then I'm tired, so then we order pizza or something. That's where we end up going. Or I pick up hot dogs and macaroni. But when I have the stuff there and prepared, we eat it. And my kids eat it too. My kids will eat. I mean, Summer, she sometimes won't eat the vegetable stuff, but pretty much I think meal prep is like a huge thing for me right now. And tracking calories. And I know a lot of people do the MyFitness. Is it Fitness?
Yeah, MyFitnessPal.
Yeah. But for me, I do like the breakfast, lunch, and then I like don't finish my day. So like I don't have the dinner. So it doesn't make any sense for me to do it, but I think I lie to myself when I don't track my calories. And then all of a sudden I will track, and I'm like, whoa, like that day added up quicker than I thought it did, and stuff like that. So for me, I think tracking calories and my meal prep, and of course the water, which I'm horrible at because I am a pop drinker, which is so bad, and I'm a diet pop drinker, which is even worse. I know Rob's trying to quit the diet pop too, and I was watching him with the flavored waters and stuff, and I so want to give up the diet pop. I know it's so bad for you.
It is.
I drank the diet, and now they're saying the diet's worse than regular. So if I stuck to meal prep, watched my calories, and drank my water, the weight would come off of me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. I mean, that sounds like a great point. I think that, for most of us, being prepared is what it takes away much of the excuse of
yeah,
saying, oh, I'm tired, there's nothing here. Well, yesterday, Sunday, I prepared everything. So there is something here. And what I do sometimes is that when I'm tempted, when I leave work, and I'm really tempted to stop off and get something, even though there's food at home, I just keep thinking about the food and the most delicious way I can have it. And, just like anything, like I could sprinkle Parmesan cheese on it and it'll still fit the macros, and I'll just start concentrating on it until I'm actually craving the thing that's been prepared. It could be a piece of tilapia, and I'm thinking of it like, oh, tilapia, I haven't had that in weeks. And I'm really trying to build myself up to want it as bad as I would want pizza or something,
Right.
As bad as pizza? Come on now. I don't know about that.
Tilapia pizza, maybe. Put it on the pizza. I don't know.
That's what we could do, right? Cut it up and put it on. Yeah, so I'm in favor for that.
I've wanted to try the meal prep, for like a week and stuff, but I'm just too lazy to do it all in one day. Like, I just am. I'm not gonna lie. It's just I can't be bothered in getting all that stuff together in one day. So
it does seem like overwhelming.
It does, but I'm sure once you do it, the rewards are awesome.
Yeah.
But
and I found
just
one
lazy
on like Pinterest or something where they actually gave you the grocery list along with it.
Yes.
Hoping that'll help. But yeah, we're gonna test it out this weekend. We're gonna do a full prepared, see how it goes. But
right.
I know you gotta set the time in then to do it, but
if you want something bad enough, you'll fit the time and you'll do it. It's just,
Exactly.
I think I'll try maybe just do it daily and see how that goes along. Maybe if I actually do that. I'm one of these people, like, it's like 5 o'clock and I'm like, what should we eat for dinner tonight? I'm not a preparer. Oops.
Well, Stacy, make sure you get it on camera for us.
I will.
All right, good.
Yeah, I'll do my grocery haul and then my hopefully prepare it all.
Okay.
Yeah, you could. It'd be cool.
And yeah, there are a few people who are talking about just the benefit of meal prep and things that they've done. When you asked about what other people have in their lives to kind of pull them away from the food addiction, Tink McGathy, he said, I have music. It helps me cope with just about everything. Playing on stage, jamming in my room, all of that. Nothing compares to the high I get playing music. And Tina, she says, weightlifting has changed my life and really helped me on my journey. It's really in our minds. Yes, we have food addiction or emotionally eat. You have to fight those urges and pull toward food. And it's just she also chews a lot of gum.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing that lately. A big piece, not those little tiny pieces, man. I get that hubba bubba, that bubblicious stuff, and I'm like,
chomp chomp.
Yeah. Do it. They have a Dr. Pepper flavor that's amazing.
No. They got all those dessert gums now too, where it tastes.
Yeah, those are
apple pie gum and I don't know, some weird lemon meringue or I don't know.
Yeah. Some of them you get a really weird aftertaste too. So.
I think Quest Nutrition should come out with gum.
Oh, you know how I feel about Quest.
Yeah, you're weird. I don't get that.
I know. It's okay.
Okay, well, Matthew Smelling says, do you have any favorite workout routines?
Wow. I know for me, I used to go to the gym before baby, and I liked that, and I used to walk. So I think for me, like with my life right now, I really would like to get back into walking. And right now, though, I'm at the point where like I'm kind of embarrassed. Like, even not too long ago, I walked to the park with my daughter, and some little kids were outside, and I got the what they say, I don't know. She's look how fat she is, or something like that. As I was walking with Aiden to the park, and I remember Aiden turned around and looked at me, and she's like, "Mommy, are they laughing at me?" And I was like, "No, baby, they're not laughing at you." And I know that's something I need to just like shrug off, and they're kids, but I'm I am kind of like embarrassed to get out there and
Yeah.
exercise. But I know there's a lot of home things too. I have like one of those walking videos too for like inside the house.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I would like to walk outside in my neighborhood, and I could take Aiden, and she would love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like when you're this big, you feel like the whole world is just like looking at you, and sometimes they're not. It's just you feel that way. But
Right. Yeah, and at least you can, say to yourself, at least I'm out here doing something. I'm out here doing
yeah,
something about this. And I remember when I was, at my highest weight, and I would be walking, and I was embarrassed too, and people would yell stuff out at me from their cars, and it's just like, I would always just yell back, "Thank you," because it just gave me some
yeah,
satisfaction to know that, you know, I was the better person in this situation, I'm not, I could have yelled some curse words back at you, like you yelled at me, but I'm like, "Thank you," and I kept going, so
exactly. Yeah, I like that. And see, Aiden's at the age too where she's not embarrassed of me yet. Not that she will, but every kid,
yeah.
uh, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
nobody wants their mom to be the 400-pound mom. And right now she doesn't see it. She thinks I'm the greatest mom in the whole wide world, and just perfectly fine in her eyes. And I guess I just want to get healthy for that reason too.
Right.
But I definitely need to. I think getting out and walking will help too, just with stress. And I feel a lot of stress. Like I have a lot of work stress, and I think that would help that too. Besides the weight,
Mhm.
walking has always been like a huge um, jump start from really makes my weight move as far as the scale goes. But
Yep.
yeah, I've been a little bit shy to get out there, I think. Definitely.
Yeah. You can do it. You can.
Get out there.
Yep.
Yeah, I
And
mean, who cares what people say?
Yep.
I know.
They
Well, how
gotta.
far away from me are you? Maybe I can drive down and go for walks with you.
Oh, oh, Scott, yep.
Michigan forever.
I know, Michigan.
Don't talk about.
Oh, hey.
Well, I'm a fan of Michigan Wolverines, the college team, and they just came to my employer, Rutgers University, and lost, and I was so upset
I'm sorry.
because I go to work and people are like, "Oh, did you see that we won?" I'm like, "Shut up." So,
Hey.
I'm sorry.
um, Matthew also asked a great question. I think it says, "What is one thing that you want your kids to be proud of their mother?"
Wow. That was, guys gonna make me get emotional here at the end, but I want my kids to be, and I think my girls are proud of me as far as that I've made it this far without their dad. And I know that sounds funny, like I don't mean made it without him, but like we've done it. We've survived. Like my
Right.
husband was one of those people where I didn't think I could live one day without him. Not one day. He was there every day for 21 years and just went to work and never came home. And that's tough mentally. And then you've got his two beautiful daughters you have to look at every day. And now I have to look at his grandkids that he's never seen and never will. And that's tough, but we've made it and we've survived. And I have wonderful daughters, and they're tough, and we're super close. Super close. And my daughters were daddy's girls, but we have bonded through all this. Like, it's crazy how much I love my daughters. And I know my daughters are proud of me, but sometimes I feel like, am I doing okay? Am I keeping it together? Am I a good enough mom because I'm all they have. And I hope that they're proud of me and how we, we survived and we're okay.
Mhm.
And we did like crazy every single day, but like I'm trying to live a life good for our girls. You know, our when he passed away, my girls were 12 and 18, and now our 12-year-old is 18. She just graduated this year. That was like a huge. I felt like for him, I was like, babe, I got our baby graduated, you know, and now, you know, now my oldest is 25 and she's got two babies, and so for me, it's just making it and surviving.
Mhm.
And I know they want me to get healthy because I know they're afraid, and they don't. And my girls aren't the type that would ever say anything disrespectful or cruel to me. But I know they want me to get healthy, and I know it scares them that I'm this heavy.
Mhm.
And that would be my next thing, is just getting healthy. And I want them to be proud of them and us that we've just made it this far. And we're okay, and we're enjoying life, and we're gonna do this. Mom's gonna get healthy. I guess that would be
Mm.
it.
I think that's probably a beautiful message and a beautiful way to end it. And I don't know if they're watching or not, or if they can hear you or whatever, but um, I'm sure that they are proud of you for being tough and pushing through. And like you said, you brought them this far. And now, as you get healthy, you can be an example for them, even in that area.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. It would be great if we could just sit here all night and talk.
Yes. It goes so fast.
I know.
Oh,
But,
good.
Staci, I just want to thank you for coming on, and thank you for being so open and honest, being so candid. Just so you know, I got a private message about a half hour into the show that just said, "She is so sweet."
Aw, there she is.
Um, but yeah, so I just want to thank you for being on, and hopefully you'll be on again. And yeah, it's just been great following your journey and hanging out with you tonight.
Thanks for having me on. I know I bragged a little bit getting on here, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it.
Me too.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna say goodnight, and thank you everybody who were watching and left comments. We'll be going through the comments. If anyone wasn't addressed, I think I got to all the questions. But if not, then we'll make sure that we get to them. Within the next day or two. And so thank you, God, for supporting the show as you do every week. Tell people about it. Make sure you like this video before you leave, but tell people about it, and really just spread the word. And make sure you subscribe to Staci as well. Her link is in the first comment. So if you just say newest first and go to the bottom, then a link to her channel is there. It's also in the title, Cflattop. So let's just support each other on this journey and have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.